I will be opposing Mallory's statements. My opponent claims that legalization of prostitution in brothels will be beneficial for society as a whole, including but not limited to the prostitutes and their clients, and in general the sex industry. My claim is that even if prostitution is legalized in brothels, the dangerous nature of prostitution will not be eliminated, but rather transfigured or transformed into another form. And I will support this claim by refuting Mallory's claims on keeping prostitution illegal is a health hazard, it is a drain to our natural resources, and it is a victimless crime. I will start by going with Mallory's idea that keeping prostitution illegal is somewhat of a health hazard. Well, if, per se, prostitution is legalized, there will be a greater demand for sexual trade, and therefore more people engaging in sex with prostitutes. Now, it is true that if you are regulating it, like testing every week, you will possibly reduce STIs. However, even with that, there's a few flaws. According to Jeffrey J. Barrows, a doctor, even if prostitute is being tested every week for HIV, she will test negative for at least 4 to 6 weeks, and possibly for the first 12 weeks after being infected. If we assume that he or she only takes 4 weeks to become positive, because there is an additional lag time of 1 to 2 weeks to get the results back, we're looking at best at about 6 weeks before the prostitute knows that she's infected by HIV or HIV in particular. Now say a prostitute sees 10 to 15 clients a day. This means that 630 clients in the 6-week period would be exposed to HIV. Now, say even if prostitution is regulated, you're not necessarily regulating people who come in, such as men are not the only ones to be tested, according to Janice Raymond, PhD. Women-only health checks make no public health sense because monitoring prostituted women does not protect them from HIV, AIDS, or STD, since male clients can and do originally transmit the disease to women. So essentially, testing the women every week isn't really going to stop the spread of HIV and AIDS. Now, on Mallory's second point, it will drain our nation's natural resources. If you legalize prostitution, you will in turn have to have people who are regulating it. And those people are the same police that are now taking the prostitutes into jail. So in that case, I would say that the resources will still be used, but they're just used in a different manner. As for the victimless crime, there's an interesting thing about that. Many people say that prostitution is a victimless crime because at the time of interaction, both sides are consenting. However, there are a few aftermath effects of prostitution. According to a study done in the Netherlands, or according to a study done by Jelto J. Derner, PhD, this is an example from Amsterdam. In 1981, moreover, 19% of the married group of people who were interviewed in Amsterdam were admitted to have visited a sex club while being married. Now, victim when prostitution occurs isn't necessarily the person who's interacting. It could be the family. Just think, of those 19% of people that go to the sex clubs or the brothels, what percentage of those ended up in marriage defects? And now I'm going to go on to a few workability problems with prostitution thing. My first point is that enforcing the laws of prostitution would be very hard. According to many sex workers it would be very hard to enforce these laws. And it could possibly increase human trafficking in the United States. That is all I have to say.